What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter of Dandadan Chapter 193. A great chapter. We about to get right into it. Of course, you guys know I'm at work, so you know what I'm saying, respect the grind. Go ahead and subscribe and thumb up the video. I greatly appreciate it. If you don't rock with it, you can thumb it down. It's all good. It'll only make me try to improve in the future, hopefully. I might just be like, F it, it is what it is. It all just depends. But hey, yo, enough of that. We're going to get into this chapter. But I will say right off the bat, I'm worried about Granny right now, yo. The fact that, you know, it seems like she sustained more wounds than I actually realized from that battle she had a couple chapters ago when she was facing off against that bull or minotaur, whichever name you want to call it. When she was facing off against that person, it seems as if she's taken way more damage than, you know, I actually thought about. And I might actually go back and read that chapter to see if there's anything I noticed that I didn't notice the first time I read that chapter. But it does seem like she's suffering from that battle, or it might be something else she's suffering from. Maybe it's because she's leaving the territory of the ghost she has a pact with. That could be the case. I'm not exactly sure. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But we're gonna get into the chapter. So it starts off with them boarding the plane, and for me, with everything that goes on in Dandadan, a plane is the last place I would want to be. I'm not getting on that jump, man. I'm sorry, though. That's one of those missions where you're going to have to be like, yo, let me know how things go down. If you need support, like mentally, call me. I got you. But as far as me coming to show up, nah, that's not going to happen. But anyway, you got them all boarding the plane. You got them all lined up, sitting together. They got two rows. You got the old man as well as the boy who was carrying him, and the granny in that row. Then you got Dino Girl as well as Zuma and Gigi on another row. And it's crazy that Zuma and Gigi are side by side. You know, of course, Momo's in between on their shoulders, but at the same time, she really ain't, because she's so small now. So you got it where the flight takes off. Everybody seems to be a little shaken up about it, except for Dino Girl. She's excited. She's smiling. And you got it where Gigi says his stomach feels like it's floating right now. He feels uncomfortable. And you got it where Momo said, like, yo, just chill out. Look out the window. Enjoy the view. Like, yo, hey, you're going to love it. And, of course, she jumps on the shoulder of Zuma. And Zuma gets scared. He's like, yo, something just landed on my shoulder. And then that's when she goes to speak to him. And he recognizes her voice. He knows it's Momo. But you find out, like, his vision is completely gone now. At first, it was on the verge of being gone in the previous chapter, but now it's completely gone. And he says he can't see anything. Even with the glasses, he cannot see. And he addresses Momo as girl as opposed to calling her, you know, her by her name. And that's when, you know, she says, I don't like being called girl. Stop calling me that. Call me by my name. He makes this statement like, yo, you wouldn't tell me, remember? And I forgot all about their first encounter when she wouldn't reveal who she was to this guy. I completely forgot that. I thought he was just calling her girl because that's just his style. That's just how he do things. But nah, he really don't know her name. And of course, you got it what she says, like, fine, you're right, I did tell you that. I guess I will let you know my name. But of course, Gigi jumps in and he's like, yo, nah, don't tell me your name. Don't do that. And I'm surprised. It seems as if Gigi is a little jealous of the relationship between Zuma and Momo. And I feel like if he's jealous about that, he should definitely be jealous about the relationship between Momo and Okarun. He should feel more threatened about that than the relationship between her and Zuma. I mean, that's just my vibes on it. But of course, you got it where he's like, yo, we go to different schools. You know, after this whole thing is situated, you'll probably never see him again. So don't give him your name. Don't tell him his name. Tell him your name. And of course, she was like, nah, man, the least I can do is tell him my name. It'll make things easier as far as if anything goes down, he needs to call out to me. Like, yo, it'll be a smart idea. And of course, you got it where, you know, he looks at it, he's like, yo, there's nothing going on between us. Zuma's like, there's nothing going on between us. But even after this situation, I do plan on keeping in contact with her. And of course, you got it where that kind of angry Gigi, and he's like, yo, you're getting the wrong idea. I meant for socializing, nothing more. You know what I'm saying? Get your mind out the gutter. And then he's like, yo, you're acting like some type of clingy boyfriend. And I'm like, yo, dang. I mean, he being honest, though. He being honest, because Gigi was kind of, I'm like, yo, why you acting like this? Where is this coming from? Where is this with Okarun? And I guess to a certain extent, he did kind of like, you know, speak his mind to Okarun as well about how he felt about Momo. But it wasn't to this extent. It didn't feel as aggressive as it feels right now. And you have it with Zuma's telling him like, yo, get a hold of yourself. And of course you got it with Gigi says like, yo, I hate you. And I think that's a hilarious moment. I feel like these two guys are going to have that hilarious dynamic between one another. Like the way Momo and Ira are to one another, I feel like that's how Gigi and Zuma is going to be towards one another. And I could be wrong. And then you got it where Dino Girl's saying like, yo, Gigi's so angry. That's rare. And we don't really see this dude angry. We don't see him really serious at all. For the most part, he's always lighthearted. I mean, he gets shit done when it needs to get done. But for the most part, he's very lighthearted. But this is the first time we're actually seeing him angry and upset and you know, turning red because of what's going on. And of course, you know, you got it where he's like, yo, somebody trade seats with this guy. I can't be next to him anymore. And you got it where Zuma's like, yo, you're one embarrassing, you know, son of a bee. And he's like, typical clingy behavior. I don't know why, but yo, Zuma had me dying laughing. But of course, you have it with Dino Girl. You know, she get them to switch seats. You know, he does it. It seems as if he actually respects and does whatever that Dino Girl tell her. So I wonder if Zuma feels a certain way about her. But it's crazy because when it comes to Dino Girl, I was always thinking that she would end up with Gigi since, you know what I'm saying, Momo would end up with Okarun. But maybe it's a chance that she might actually end up with Zuma. I don't know. You guys let me know y'all thought on that, man. But of course, you got it where once they switch places, you have it where Gigi is making fun saying, po baby, po baby. And of course, Zuma says like, yo, I'm going to remember this, you clingy bastard. Another hilarious moment. But while they're sitting there, you see Granny, she's in a deep sweat. It looked like she's unconscious. It looked like she's in pain. But you have it where they ask her if she's okay, and she's like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. The only reason I'm a little bit out of it is because of the medicine I took." And I wonder if that's the truth or if that's an actual lie. I feel like it's a lie. I feel like there's more going on with her than she's letting on, and she just don't want people to worry about her, so she's keeping it a secret. But I feel like the next arc may be an arc where we're trying to save her from whatever she's suffering from. I could be wrong, and she could be completely fine. It could just really be the medicine she took, or just, you know, the fact that she's on this plane and she's overwhelmed by being on this flight. It could be the case, but we'll just have to wait and see. But next thing you know, you have it where one of the guys on the plane walks up behind Gigi and goes to stab him with a knife. But of course, the umbrellas of Zuma instantly attack him and knocks him out. And I think it's dope that his, you know what I'm saying, his umbrellas act on their own. Like, yo, it reacted on their own because it detected an enemy on board the ship. Which means even though he's blind, he's not defenseless. His umbrellas will come to his aid, or futas is what they call them, will come to his aid if he's in danger. And I like that. But then you have it where more people jump up and try to attack, you know, your boy Gigi while his back is turned. And of course, Granny actually gets up and throws a kick to knock one of the people out. So maybe she's not completely as tired and weak as we're all thinking. Maybe she really is just a little bit out of it because of the medicine she's taking. But you got it where several people on the plane are jumping up to fight. And of course, Momo, she's intervening as well using her abilities. And then you got it where Zuma tries to stop Dino Girl from getting involved because he doesn't know what she's capable of. But she transformed into her dino suit. And then that's when you got it where one of the guys like, yo, she just turned to a kaiju. And of course, Zuma, he can't see it, but he can, you know, he can hear what's going on. And then you have it where Dino Girl activates her hidden mode, and she puts everybody in a separate space so that the people that on the plane who had nothing to do with this will not be frightened for what's about to take place. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to be doing battle in an airplane. I'm sorry, that's the one place I wouldn't want to fight, because if shit go wrong, you guys are thousands and thousands of miles up in the air. Heck nah. But next thing you know, you have it where you hear someone shout like, "Mother, these people are using empty space." And then you have it where Mother appears, you know, the granny, and she says, "I knew they weren't no ordinary people, you know, but I would have never imagined that these bastards was from that side." So she pretty much is probably thinking they're from, you know, from another planet. But when you think about it, Dino Girl is from another planet. But you got it where she takes a karate stance on both in the middle of an aisle, And you got it where Momo is looking at her, but she can't see Momo, or at least I don't think she's aware of Momo. But then again, she may have became aware when Momo used her ability to stop one of the people who tried to stab her friends. So I don't know. We'll have to find out in the next chapter. We know she wants revenge for what happened in the arc revolving around Gigi, and how, you know, he was supposed to be sacrificed to keep the monster at bay, to keep the monster in check within that little town. So we know she wants revenge for that. We're just going to have to wait and see what actually happens. But all in all, really great chapter. Enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought it was hilarious seeing Zuma and Gigi go at one another. I just thought that was funny. And then just learning more about Zuma and how his ability still, you know, activates even without him telling it to, long as it detects danger. Yo, the dude might be actually broken, and I'm glad to hear that he plans on staying involved in Momo life even after this arc. Now, it still might be one of those things where we don't get to see him as much as we would like, but it does seem like he's still going to play a part in the series, you know, going forward. But let me know your thoughts on this chapter down below, and if you like this video, thumb it up, please subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.